JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 10th of May 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, jumping into the charts here, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225, and Nikkei closed today in positive territory. And as you can see, this is what I mentioned to you on Friday, that in a way, as long as the index remains above the 21-day EMA, there is a good chance for Nikkei to continue traveling slowly to the upside. As I mentioned before also, that I'm not going to really target, let's say, much higher levels in order to get, let's say, excited with a further push north here. Yes, a break of this downside line would be needed. So for now, what I'm aiming here for is basically a test of this downside line here, together with this 30,064, 65 territory, approximately around here, and then we will take it from there, because again, I don't want to rush into anything for now. Yep, I just like I said, I just want to kind of target this little territory right here. Jumping into Shanghai Composite, and here we have a bit of an opposite situation. On the contrary, Shanghai Composite did decline. It broke this upside support line, as you can see here, and made its way towards the lower side of the rising channel. Now, as I mentioned to you last week, that even if we get a drop here lower, then still there is a chance for the bulls to step in somewhere around here and drive this one higher. However, I would prefer still to wait for a push above the 3,496 territory in order to go for some higher levels, because as you can see here, this barrier somehow did provide decent resistance recently. So I would just want to respect the level. If we get a break through it, then yes, wonderful, good news. Now, another thing, of course, from the technical side, which I also mentioned to you in one of my videos last week, that here, for example, this little rising channel pattern might also be seen as a possible little correction here, or I'll say even maybe like a bearish flag here, because as you can see, the prevailing trend here before it entered the rising channel was to the downside. It started moving kind of sideways with a slight tilt to the upside. And now it's kind of coming closer to this lower bound of the rising channel. So, long story short, basically, let's see if we will break through the lower side of the rising channel. If we do, then of course this raises concerns about the possibility of a further up move. But if it also drops somewhere below the 3,373 territory right here, marked by the low of the 15th of April, and that's actually the lowest point of April as well. At the same time, we could see the price falling below the 200-day EMA, which could create a bit more bearishness here, and could create a few more problems for the bulls. And that's why, guys, for now, let's be very careful here. Yes, we're kind of moving a little bit to the downside here, but we're near this lower bound of the rising channel. But if that gets cleared, then that gets broken, well, I mean, this could turn out to be a little bit ugly for Shanghai Composite. But again, let's not over speculate on this one. Let's see if let's see what happens near this lower side of the rising channel. Now the German index, DAX, and yeah, here you can see the index pushed nicely, beautifully to the upside on Friday, and managed to stay above the above some of the key resistance barriers here. Now, one of which was my first one was this, the 15,268.69 zone. We cleared that, and we also managed to stay above the high of the 28th of April near the 15,355 zone. And yeah, now basically the question is, will it go further north? And if we take a look at the cash index, we'll see that the price is currently trading at around 15,000. Let me just quickly double check. 15,433 mark. So basically we're not far from that all-time high, which is around the 15,502 territory right here. So long story short, guys, today of course all eyes are going to be on that level, on this barrier. Can we overcome it? Can we create a new all-time high this week? Well, for now, I mean, if the pace is going to continue like this, then yes, certainly there is a very decent chance of that happening. So that's why for now I'm going to be very careful. Yes, I'm going to be leaning more towards the upside, especially if the price continues to trade above this 15,355 zone. If it starts falling back below it, well, in order for me, let's say, to consider the downside, I would like to, once again, I would like to see, first of all, a drop back below this downside line, and a drop below the 21-day EMA here. This is from where I could start looking at the downside. But of course, to get even more excited with lower levels, a drop below the 15,072 territory right here. I'm still keeping an eye on that level, or actually even let's adjust it. Let's keep an eye on this Thursday's low near the 15,093 zone. So a nice good drop below it, yep, could open the door towards a lower level. So keep that in mind. Now, DXY, the dollar index, and yeah, I mean, after Friday's disastrous report, I would even say disastrous report from the U.S., the jobs report from the U.S. Yep, that's the result we're getting here. So it drifted lower, and most importantly, it drifted lower and stayed below this upside line, which I was talking about previously. Now, previously I said that this is going to be my target, and you can see why. I mean, we've reached the target, so that's great news. And I said that if we get a drop below this 90.87 territory, that's what I'm going to be aiming for. And yep, we got that. We got that test, and we also got a drop below it. So now, in a way, all this is not looking good here for the bulls. It increases the chances, the fact that the price is still kind of sitting below this upside line. This, of course, increases the chances that a further decline could be possible. But my next target here, and let me just adjust a few levels here, guys. My next target will be this low, the lowest point of February near the 89.68 zone, and then I'll take it from there. Another thing here needs to be removed is this downside line, no longer needed. For the upside, now, certainly, I will keep this arrow here from here. That's my kind of, let's say, the more comfortable level, the 91.42 zone. A nice pop above it may, yep, open the door to its higher levels. For the downside, as I said, guys, still, as long as we remain below this upside line, below the 90.42 zone, yes, there is a good chance we could see a drift towards the lowest point of February near the 89.68 zone. Jumping into gold, of course, gold is liking the fact that the dollar is on the weaker side. However, here, let's redraw a few things here. Now, first of all, probably let me maybe tidy up this little chart here. Now, first of all, again, over the overall picture, you can see that overall, yes, we're trading in between these lines, so we're still below this downside line taken from the high of the 7th of August of last year, but at the same time, we're trading above a few upside lines here, long-term ones. This one's taken from the low of the 20th of May 2019, and also we're kind of still above this other one taken from the low of the 16th of August 2018. But I'll leave this one for now. I'll focus on some of these, but even with this upside line, I'm not going to even focus on that one right now. What I'm going to do here is let me just first of all zoom in, and first of all I'm going to draw this upside support line right here, taken from the low the 31st of March. So in a way, I would say that yes, there is a chance for this one to continue pushing further north as long as the price kind of stays above this upside line. However, what I'm considering right now is maybe something like this actually, where we could see gold pushing a little bit further north, and then if it finds good resistance once again right here near this downside line, taken from the high of the 7th of August. Now, yep, another slide here could be possible, guys. So be very careful with that, be very cautious, and also, I mean, this move here could come in line with the, let's say, if DXY suddenly reverses back up here, given that the dollar is quite overstretched here to the downside, even if it starts reversing a little bit more towards the upside, yep, gold might take a dive, and in a way all this could work out perfectly, and we could see this one drifting back towards this upside line, towards this 1816 zone, somewhere around here, or even maybe towards the 1798 zone, and then yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. So again, for now, long story short, yes, I am aiming for the upside initially, but I'm going to be very careful near this downside line. If this holds, another slide could be possible, but if it breaks and the price climbs above the 1875 territory right here, marked by the high of the 21st of January, yes, we could go for some higher levels, but I'll pick up on that if we do see that break, and then yep, we'll take it from there. Now, WTI oil, look, talking about beautiful rising channels. Well, I mean, WTI oil so far is respecting that one. So again, Shanghai Composite is also respecting it for now, but let's see how that's going to play out. Oil, WTI oil, yes, it is pushing higher after a nice rebound here from this highlighted territory, which I'm still going to keep on my chart because somehow it does come back and sometimes respect this level, this 63.80 zone. Previously I looked at it as a nice area of resistance. Now it took the role of support, and yep, now we're seeing this morning, today we're seeing a push higher. However, I don't want to rush into anything. I want to keep an eye on this one first, because for me, for the upside, I need to see at least maybe a push, not about this 66.18 zone, but actually I'm going to drag this one a little bit higher here, so 66.40, roughly around here. So a nice good pop above this may, yep, open the door towards higher levels. We could see the commodity continuing to drive higher, because as you can see, this 66.40 or 38.40 zone, that's the high of the 15th of March. Last week it also provided good resistance, although yes, we did overcome it, but we didn't really close above it, so that's why I'm gonna stick to this level for now. 66.3840 zone, approximately around there. A nice good pop above it, yep, may open the door towards some higher levels, guys. Now, in terms of the downside, well, pretty straightforward. We need to see a violation of the rising channel here, the lower side of the rising channel, and then a drop below the area here, somewhere around this 62.94, 95 zone, marked by the low of the 3rd of May here, or in other words, I think that's the low. Yeah, that's it. That is the lowest point of May, guys. So a drop below the 62.94 could, yep, open the door towards lower levels. Now, Bitcoin. Okay, so with this one, there's a bit of a, it seems that it's really lacking buying interest lately. Although other cryptos are pushing nicely to the upside, Bitcoin is the kind of the laggard, I would say. So it has been kind of trading around this this territory here for quite a while now. So this 58,945 zone. Yes, we are pushing above it today. However, will it be the same as it was on Saturday and Sunday, where we also pushed above this barrier, but kind of still eventually stayed below it? Let's not rush into anything. I would prefer to see the daily candle remaining above this area, and then kind of targeting further upside, because again, as I said, somehow Bitcoin is kind of the laggard in terms of popularity somehow for now. And maybe that might change. Don't get me wrong, but at the moment, yep, it's that's the case. So if you're looking for the upside, yes, from the technical side, wait for this daily candle to see where it's going to end today. If it stays above this barrier, then yes, I will continue targeting the upside. So yeah, that's the situation with Bitcoin. However, Ethereum is just on fire, and look at this. I mean, it's 4,000 already. So basically, it just kind of continues to rally and rally. And if we take a look at it, and it's really frightening to see the monthly chart. I mean, look at this explosion, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. Eventually, this will reverse to the downside. However, at the moment, I mean, this is just insane. If you manage to even buy Ethereum somewhere around here, I mean, congratulations, guys. You're doing well probably. But yeah, for now, guys, I mean, at the moment, we don't have a reversal signal, so we could continue rallying. It could continue pushing further north, but again, let's be very careful. Again, whatever comes up must eventually come down, but again, I'm not trying to be the pessimist here, but this could eventually correct back down at some point. But again, from the positive side, we have not seen that correction signal yet. So for now, at this point, I would even say that a drop somewhere below the 3,530 territory right here, maybe that's what I would take as a possible corrective move here. I mean, a corrective signal. So if we drop somewhere below this, then yep, maybe we could go for a bit of a larger correction to the downside, because as you can see, we are trading above a bunch of upside lines here now, maybe tentative, but nevertheless upside lines, which we will keep an eye on for now, guys. So yep, like I said, let's see how all this is gonna play out. Now jumping into a few pairs. Oh, and by the way, in terms of the economic calendar, to be honest, not much is happening today from the economic data. What do I see here? I mean, probably the most important to watch will be later on at nighttime or during the early hours of the Asian morning, the Chinese CPI figures. Now that's going to be quite interesting to see how that comes out. But at the moment, guys, I mean, yeah, it's not really only from UK. We don't get that, no, unfortunately. So yeah, guys, I mean, like I said, it's a very, very quiet day. So probably today, keep your eyes on the like the whole market sentiment, the whole kind of situation with the coronavirus, and yep, and of course the developments in the US. I mean, let's see if the risk-on environment continues to be present today in the markets, in the equity markets. So and then we'll kind of we'll go from there. Now AUDJPY, jumping into this one. So last week I talked about it, and yep, I said to you guys, keep your eyes on this 85 territory right here, which if gets broken, yep, could open the door towards higher levels, where my next target will be this 85.45 level. So tick, reach that, managed to reach that, and now I mean, the question is, can it continue pushing further north? I mean, I would say right now like this, that as long as it stays above this highest point of March, which is around the 85.45 level, if it stays above it, yes, I'll continue aiming higher. Where my next target, and this is where we need to go back into history here a little bit. So my next target will be this one right here. Let me just grab a line. This one right here, if I can zoom in carefully. So did I catch it? Yes, there we go. So the inside swing low of the 10th of January of 2018, guys, and that's going to be my next target. If that gets cleared, of course, then it's the highest point of January of 2000, and I think that I didn't catch the highest point. So let me just zoom in here. Let me just double check very quickly. So 89.07, yes, so that's approximately somewhere around there. 89.89, yes, 0.07. So that's going to be the highest point of January of 2018. We'll keep an eye on down, but of course initially I'm keeping an eye on that the inside swing low of the 10th of January of 2018, and that's roughly around the 87.21-22 zone, approximately around there. And then we'll take it from there, guys. Now, USDCHF. So looking at this picture, this negative picture, and yeah, we can see that the pair is still kind of drifting lower. It dropped below this hurdle. I talked about this last week, if you remember, when I was covering this pair, and the 0.9080 territory surrendered, and a break below it confirmed the forthcoming lower low, and now, I mean, we basically managed to reach, because my target was around here, the 0.9027, so managed to reach that. We continued to drift lower, and now basically, if I would say, if it stays here, and let me just grab this arrow here. If it stays below the 0.9027 territory, yes, I will continue aiming lower, where my next target is going to be the 0.8939 level right here, marked by the low of the 19th of February. So let's put it this way. For now, yes, we're leaning towards the downside. As long as it stays below this downside line as well, yes, we will continue targeting lower levels. But for now, let's go short, slowly, step by step. My next target is, like I said, this 0.8939 level. GBPUSD. So also quick update here. So if the dollar is on the weaker side, well, we can expect this pair to move higher, which is it is doing right now. So long story short, for now. For now, I would say we are pushing higher. We are trading above some of these key resistance levels. For example, one of which is the highest point of April near the 1.4009 zone. So if it stays above this, then yes, I will continue aiming higher. If it stays above this barrier, guys, if it stays above this highest point of April, then yep, my next target, and this is where, let me just grab a line. My next target is this little, first of all, this little inside swing low near of the inside swing low of the 24th of February, which is around the 1.4083, and we're very quickly approaching that area. Then I'll be very careful and target the highest point of February, of 25th of February, near the 1.4182. But if that gets cleared, my next target is of course the highest point of February near the 1.4243, and then we'll take it from there. Euro Aussie, quick update on Euro Aussie. This is also something that I mentioned last week as well to you, that first of all, what I said, that keep your eyes on this this little pattern here, because the pair was coiling up, and in order to consider the next short-term directional move, we needed a clear breakthrough one of the sides of this pattern, or I would say maybe it's a it's a more of a, not a very beautiful triangle, but nevertheless. So we had a drop below the lower side of it, so through this upside line. Now the pair seems to be willing to move further south, but if it, what I will wait here for is a drop below last week's low near the 1.5468 zone. So we're currently testing that area. If we can stay below it today, then yes, my next target here is this one, the low of the 30th of March, and if that gets cleared, of course, and so on, guys. So this is, I mean, pretty straightforward. So we'll go step by step, of course. For now, what I'm looking at here is, like I said, the low of last week near the 1.5468. If we get a clear move below it, then yes, my next target is the low of the 30th of March near the 1.5358 zone. For the upside, well, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I need to see a break of this downside line and a push above the 100-day EMA. But if we do see something like that, then I'll pick up on some of these levels. But at the moment, it's looking a little bit more on the negative side. So here we have a different situation. Of course, we can see that, for example, at the moment the US dollar is the weaker one, the weakest one, and the Australian dollar is on the stronger side. And yep, that's the kind of here, for example, you can see the euro against the US dollar is pushing further north, so it's enjoying its moment of the weaker dollar. And yeah, we managed to climb above the highest point of April on a Friday, and that level was around the 1.2150 zone. So, and currently we're still sticking, or we're still sitting above this. What I said to you last week was that if we get a pop above the 1.21, well, actually 1.21 territory right here, then my next target is the 1.2190 level right here. And as you can see, we came very close today to testing that. So in a way, I could say that kind of mission accomplished. We reached the target. Now my question here is, can it stay above the 1.2150 territory? If it can, yes, I'll aim for the 1.2190 level again, but this time I'll probably aim for the 1.2243 zone right here, which is marked by the highest point of February. And then, guys, we'll take it from there, because again, we'll be very careful. We'll go slowly, step by step for now. Oh, and by the way, we can get rid of this downside line, no longer need it, and instead actually we can recycle it. Always recycle, guys. There's a hidden message for you there. So yep, guys, yeah, this upside support line, that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna aim for, we're gonna keep that on the chart, and even if it drifts back down, still there could be a chance for the bulls to step in somewhere around here and drive the pair higher. So that's it for this session, guys. This was a very quick overview of a few instruments that I looked at last week, some new ones, of course, and then yeah, basically, guys, one thing to say that be very careful. The times are interesting and difficult, and keep your stop loss in place always, and that's, you know, that's the most important. And yeah, everything will be fine, guys. So stay safe. I hope you found this session useful. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments, and everything. So guys, really does mean a lot to me. So if you want to catch my video later on, my traders tea time, as always, that's 12:30 GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.